All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome back to another aligned strategy session. If you're new here, these conversations really explore what aligned strategy feels like in our everyday lives, in our business, in our marketing, um, and how our decisions really reflect who we are versus who we think we should be. So, today we're going to talk about authenticity and intention through the lens of branding and photography. So, just generally speaking, a lot of times photos speak for a business or a person before the business even speaks about itself. So super important to put consideration into alignment. Because again, photos can create trust and connection clarity pretty instantly. So I'm really excited to have Cara Bresette-Yates here with me today. She's a brand and lifestyle photographer who puts a huge emphasis on capturing people really as they truly are, not overly posed or performative, but really truly authentic, done in their authentic selves. Um, Her work goes beyond taking beautiful photos, although she really does that very well. And it's really about helping people visually communicate who they are and how they want to be experienced within their brand. So, Cara, welcome. Thank you for being here. Do you want to add anything beyond that piece of your work?
Well, thanks for having me, Brea. I appreciate it. I just feel that, we're all craving authenticity. We want to connect. Like we are sick of the 2020 did a number on all of us. And I feel that, connecting from afar has been challenging and people want to connect in person and that they want to meet real people. I mean, that's where I go to when I'm like researching a new business is I automatically go about to the about me page. I want to learn who I'm working with and what they're about, what they stand for. I want to find things that I connect with because I know it's going to make the experience better. And I feel that when I'm working with my brand clients, like I want to draw those things out. It's not just about what they do, although that's a large part of it, but it's also about who they are, what they believe in, their ideals, and those types of things.
Yeah, that's super important. Just curious, how long have you been doing branding photography specifically, and that approach, that specific approach of like really honing in on the person versus just the job? Like, what has that journey been like?
So it's been a different one. I have been a photographer since about 2008. And again, I started with weddings, and then all those people that got married wanted me to photograph their families. And that was my journey for a long time. And I think it's about, I don't know, I want to say maybe 2018. I don't know what. Well, I mean, I have a story about why I want, why I kind of went in this direction. But I just realized that people don't, a lot of people don't have images that represent who they are and what they look like and what they do. Like my very, very first brand session was for a lady in Gretna, and she had like a custom cake business. And she's like, can you just come over and like photograph me decorating the cakes and getting them ready? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Because I was already a customer of hers and she's did an incredible job. And I wanted to showcase that to people that, maybe were just looking online and they would just see a photo of the cake. They need to see her because her personality and her ideas like go into the process also. So that was my first brand session and I really enjoyed it. And it just kind of went from there. Like brand photography hasn't really truly been popular or mainstream up until the last couple of years. And so when I was doing this back in, 2018, 2019, 2020, like it was challenging in the fact that like a lot of people didn't know what it was. They didn't like, what is this? And I'd have to explain to them. And then I'd have to explain why it was important. And it was pretty challenging because not everybody, oh yeah, I don't need that. And a lot of times they would talk about, well, look at you, let's just say like your Instagram feed or something. Like if you're just showing your products, and let's just use cake decorator as an example, because we're already talking about that. So if there are 5 cake decorators and they all show just cakes, like what's really going to truly like differentiate them? you want to see who the people are and what they're about and what kinds of things inspire them and in their process, like what makes them different. And so it's taken a little bit to have people see that, but I think it's really becoming more mainstream now.
Yeah, I love that. I feel like that's definitely where society, the universe is going in terms of really just showcasing us versus a thing and really shining personal, I guess, brand, if you will, in that way. Because at the end of the day, we're working with people that we connect with, right? So to your point, five cakes lined up. But if we feel like we have a connection or some sort of authentic pull towards one of those bakers, that's always who we're going to choose. So, yeah, you giving somebody literally something they can look at so they can differentiate themselves in that way is really, really cool.
Yeah. Right. And then sometimes they,
So,
having images of their own self, they can kind of talk about who they are in their process. And, oh, I learned European buttercream from this woman, blah, blah, blah. Like it gives them a way to open up and connect and talk about what makes them different. So,
yeah, totally. Just giving somebody an avenue to be able to do that. Visually, yeah, it's beautiful. So when you think about an actual photo shoot and somebody really showing up and showing up as their truest self in front of the camera, that can be tricky, right? Some people, like myself, get very nervous about being in front of a camera. And of course, we want to show up as our truest self. But what does that actually look and feel like to you?
so I tell well often that photography is many things, and a lot of it is psychology. I feel that. Um, I feel very skilled in the fact that I can read a room. And when someone walks in, I automatically want to make them feel at ease. And because I know being photographed is very vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there, the spotlight's on you, and I know how that feels. And so I'm kind of watching their body language, seeing how they're acting, if their movements are quick, if they're talking fast, if they feel nervous. And I really just want to help them feel at ease and connecting, just like we're talking about with connecting with brand photos, connecting with them is at the forefront of my mind, whether that's like, hey, I'm going to turn on some music. What, I have some great playlists, but is there something specific that you really like that makes you feel good? Hey, what's your go-to like crank up the radio song? Things like that. So we like automatically connect and they just feel like, okay, I can trust her. So I just truly try to watch their mannerisms and how they're moving and how they're feeling. And it really does take a little bit to get to your real authentic self. And for some people, it's quicker and easier. And for some people, it can truly take a while. And that's why I always, some people, oh, I just did a quick brand session. Well, like a brand session can't necessarily always be quick, you know. Um,
Well, that's super tricky. Yeah, to be able to have help somebody truly reach that relaxed version of themselves. I imagine some people are just there instantly, and some people, I mean, what's the longest it's taken?
I mean, I've had people take like 30 minutes before,
Yeah.
and it's okay. It's totally
Yeah.
okay. We did a lot of talking, just talkings, a little bit of shooting, but to get there. And what I'm looking for is real natural body expressions. And so like people walk in and think, well, I have to pose and no. I try to incorporate movement into the way I work because I always tell people the minute you move, you're doing something, your body is doing something, you forget that you're being photographed. I'll be like, hey, walk from here to there, swing your arms and just like look at that. Look left, then look right, and then just walk towards me. We may do it a couple times, but it's little things like that when you introduce movement and you see the real body expressions, that's when I feel like they're starting to relax. So, and
Yeah.
then
So for you to start engaging essentially. So
yeah,
you're doing music, you're doing talking, you're doing walking, and then you can just, I mean, I imagine at this point you can just, do you just feel and see it?
yeah, yes. And when you get people talking about things that they like and they love and they're passionate about, whether that's family or their hobbies or their actual business that we're talking about, oh, that is really cool. How did you learn how to do that technique? Oh, well, and then they start telling me a story and I'll snap. And then they continue to tell the story and I'll ask another question. And then I'm like, hey, can you just look that way? Can you turn this way? Snap. And it just naturally flows. And I feel that I am a good judge of whether that looks natural or doesn't. And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's learned or just, I mean, you can too, when you look at an image and you see like that feels a little bit off.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't capture those. Sometimes I do still capture those, but it's not what I include in their final gallery. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Yeah. That
no,
makes sense.
exactly.
Yeah. So post pictures. People are feeling aligned, good. I mean, are these kind like tell me maybe a couple stories or something that your clients have come back with in terms of this idea of alignment in their brand and really showcasing who they truly are versus what you and I talked personally about, which is showing up in a business in the way that we think we should versus the way that feels good. And what does that look like for a client after a brand session?
Absolutely. I think like during a session too, I think it's important to note that, and I wrote some notes down about this that I wanted to talk about is like, everyone thinks, well, I'm going to go have a brand session or I'm going to have a headshot. I got to be professional. I got to be perfect. And yes, I know that you want to put your best foot forward, but you don't have to be perfect and precise and professional all the time. I mean, we as a consumer are looking for someone that has expertise in their area, knows what they're doing, but is also real. Can I joke and laugh with this person even though like they know their stuff? Yeah. And so we can showcase a little bit of both. And I feel that there are things I say like when I'm photographing, I'll say tits up and it's from Mrs. Maisel. If anybody doesn't know, it's a show, but she's a women comedy or woman comedian. And before she would walk on stage, her, what do I want to say, boss or like producer manager would tell her, okay, tits up. And I don't know why, but I say that, and it truly is like a good posturing thing for women when they're posing, but it also makes them laugh right like that. And that breaks that it breaks the ice just right then and there. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we might cuss a little bit, like, make sure you look damn good doing it. Yeah.
That's so good. I feel like that's like the hardest part about a photo session is like the constant smile. So the authentic smile and laugh versus like just trying to like keep it up. So like doing stuff like that is really nice.
Yes, it helps. The other thing I say, and I think this is more of a powerful one, I will say take up space. Like, and I'll say it like that. Hey, take up space. Stand there, you know? And for some, like I have seen some women just visually like really listen to that and they have never been given that permission before. And they're receiving that permission to take up space at a photo shoot for them. It's pretty cool. And they're like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, yeah, don't shrink down. Take up space. We're gonna like these are gonna be on your website. These are gonna be on your social media. Like show who you are. And that's pretty cool. And so I love to see that and I love to be a part of that. And when you're talking about how this, like at the end of the session and things like that. So I have seen times where, someone's like, well, this is my business. And it's just, I just kind of do this. And I'm like, no, this is your business. Like, and we go through the whole process of planning the brand shoot. Like, it's very strategic. Like, we're not just going to show up and take pictures of you smile. And like, we're going to showcase the client process. We're going to showcase your product. We're going to, all multiple things that are strategic and we have it planned out. But also, hey, do you want to get hair and makeup done? Well, yeah, I do because I want to feel my best. Great. Like, do you want help from a stylist to help choose what to wear? Yeah, I do. So they've done all these things to invest in themselves. And so they walk on set, they walk on like when it's time to photograph after they've got hair and makeup done, like with their new clothes or, clothes that they specifically pulled for this session, and they're owning it and they feel really good. And after the session, and I have heard from people that tell me, like, this has really made me see, like, why I'm investing in my business and myself and why I'm doing this. And it's made me take my, like, who I am and what I'm doing more seriously. And then when they start using those images and they get feedback, like, I even had someone reach out to me one time that said, "Hey, I know so and so." And before she was kind of doing some, you know, what do I want to say, like self-made photos and whatnot, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. We all start somewhere. And she said, once she started utilizing the images from your brand session, like her content improved, like she, like her overall presence looked that much more professional. And she's like, and I felt it when I was working with her too. And I'm like, good, that's great. Like that's an amazing thing. So I feel when you're talking about being your authentic self, like your authentic self doesn't have to be professional and precise. It just you have to take yourself seriously and your business seriously. And when you invest in that, you do. And I think that that's the change that I've noticed.
Yeah, that makes so much sense to me, like just from a psychological standpoint. And we talked about that earlier, and there's so much to it, right? So it's like you're taking the time and making the investment to really see yourself as a CEO and the leader of your business versus like, I just kind of want to see if this works and just like doing A, B, C, and D tactically to make sure the business runs. I mean, it's just a whole different mindset. Putting yourself in that role of like, this business is here because of me. And I love the way that you showcase that and put women specifically in that position to feel that. Cause I think, because of all kinds of things, most of us don't. Um, so I think that's so cool. I think that's what sets you apart, sets your process apart, but then, the product too. It's all really, really beautiful. So with that, where can people find your work and follow your work?
Yeah, I am pretty active on Instagram. I love Instagram. I'm at CBH Photo on Instagram. And then my website is www.cbhphoto.com. Um, I, yeah, I'm on LinkedIn a little bit. I need to follow your lead and be better about being on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook personally, but yeah, I'd say Instagram and my website are the best place to reach out, see my work, see what's going on.
Okay. That's from a marketing perspective, you do not need to be everywhere. Instagram is perfect. Perfect for you. And specifically for photography. That's a great spot to be to showcase all of that stuff. So I'll put all the links below so people can link and follow that stuff. And I know you have an email list too, so that's a great way. And some like really cool free tips to like get ready for a branding session, right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I'm always happy to talk through things. And I mean, connecting with others is my favorite, like-minded business owners, because we're all going through this and we all are doing what we do in our business, but we need to do the other things, which is marketing and blah, blah, blah. Like, and we're doing it all. So we just need help from others, talk it
Yeah.
through, get ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you from your human design that you flourish doing that, doing the your split definition, which means you really get clarity in collaborations, masterminds, and all the things, and just in general, the population does better with all that kind of stuff. So really cool stuff. Is there anything that we didn't chat about today that you want to end with, or you feeling complete?
I don't think so. Thank you so much. This was great to talk with you and connect. And I'm really excited to read my human design that you shared. And yeah, I just think it's amazing how you're doing this, because I think so many of us, like I said, are doing what we do in our business and we want to do other things, but they're challenging. And then, when you are bringing in the mix of like how we work and then putting that piece of the puzzle in. Well, if you want to do marketing, you know, this is how your body and your mind works, and this is the way you need to do it. This is brilliant. It's what we
Oh,
all
thank
need.
you. It's so fun. Well, it's going back to what you were talking about is we all showcase in our own ways. And that's just another tool that we can use to like really validate and or figure it out exactly what that means. So I loved reading your human design chart specifically because I I know enough about your business. Be like you are living out your human design in your business, and it's super super neat to see. So this has been super fun. I really appreciate you coming on here, and I'm looking forward to chatting soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Bria. I appreciate you.
All right, thanks, Karen.